Thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring today's video. What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're going to be checking out the brand new Insta360 One RS. This is an action cam like you've never seen before, unless you've seen the Insta360 One R. Either way, this one's updated, brand new. It's actually pretty new to me, and this thing is awesome. So today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons you're going to want to pick this thing up before the summer. Now, the first reason being, this is a modular system. So you've got interchangeable lenses here. So right now you've got the typical action cam design, the action cam look. You know, we've seen it before, but unless you've seen the predecessor, you've probably never seen this. You can just hit a switch right here, and then you can pop this off, and you can also take this apart.
Pretty cool.
Right? So you've got 3 pieces here. This right here is the screen, power button, record button. You've also got your memory card that goes in to this slot. So this thing opens up, you've got access to your micro SD card right here, and you also have a USB Type-C port that you can go ahead and charge it, connect it to a computer, that kind of stuff. So we can think of this kind of like the brain. Now this guy right here is the battery base, so this is where everything sits on top of, this is where it gets power from. This is actually improved compared to the previous model. It's actually got a 21% bigger capacity, but what's crazy is these guys. So this is the lens. They've actually come out with a new 4K boost lens. So you'll be able to get 4K footage on a 1/2-inch sensor. This is their latest one. They've upgraded it from their previous version. It's 48 megapixels. It supports HDR, so you can get HDR content with this. And it's an f2.4 lens, so you definitely get a lot of light in. A 16 millimeter equivalent, so that is pretty wide. But this is one of 3 lenses that you can use with this system. The other one is right here. So not only is this thing a 4K action cam, but it's also a 360 camera as well. And for those folks out there who, what's a 360 camera, Judd? Basically, this camera will be able to get everything, pretty much everything in the shot. So this thing can pretty much see in front of it and behind it. And what it does is it stitches that content together, so you get this seamless of the whole area.
So you don't have to position the camera anymore?
Oh, no. You put it down, this thing's seeing everything, Jay. Eyes behind its head. It's crazy. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that in a second, but that's kind of what sets this thing apart from like other action cameras. Interchangeable lens system. I've never seen an action camera that has, you know, the action cam lens as well as the 360 all in one. You just don't see that. But there's also another lens out there. It's their premium lens. That one, I believe, is a Leica lens. It's got a 1-inch sensor. So what's cool about this is you can kind of pick and choose the flavor that you're going with, depending on the shot that you want to get. But with just what we've got in the box, you're gonna be able to do a lot. So if you've ever seen stuff on Instagram where you've got a person and it looks like they're walking on this tiny world, that's pretty much thanks to this guy right here. This is what makes it all possible. One of the coolest things I've ever seen, I'll be honest with you guys. Now, another reason why you're gonna wanna pick up this guy is it's compact. This thing is super tiny. I know for me, during the summer, if I'm going on a trip, I don't want my gear to be cumbersome. I've walked around with big DSLRs before to try and capture the moment. And it can be a lot. You gotta keep an eye on the camera, you gotta think about where you're putting it. It's a hassle sometimes, but when you're grabbing something like this, not only can it give you some really versatile content because you can, you know, swap out different lenses, and you can even change the look of the shot you're getting with this. And if you don't want it to be too wide, you don't have to make it wide. It can be narrow. Insta360 actually gives you a lot of options within the app. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more. But having access to those different looks, even within this single lens, when you add in other lenses like this, it's a no-brainer. We've seen how great it is to have multiple lenses within our smartphones. So just imagine when it comes to a dedicated camera, having that same kind of functionality is super clutch. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I recently went on a trip to Disney World. We took Austin for the first time. It was awesome, but I had to carry around this giant camera because I wanted really nice shots. If only this thing came like a week or 2 earlier, I would have been set. And I could have got some really cool stuff with this. Now, portability is important, but of course, one of the most important factors with any camera, I think, is the quality. So you're always gonna wanna make sure that you get really good quality. I've seen action cameras definitely suffer in this department. Usually it doesn't let in enough light and the footage looks a bit grainy. No matter how cool whatever you might be doing is, if your quality is bad, nobody's gonna wanna watch it. It's not gonna be enjoyable. So with this, it's nice that they've included a new lens with 4K with a 1/2-inch sensor. And if you really wanna focus on quality, you can get the one with the 1-inch sensor. So you have options available. Now, when it comes to an action camera, quality is half the story. You're also gonna wanna make sure you got some really stable shots. If you got action going on, you wanna be able to capture that nice and smooth. Usually if you're doing something crazy like mountain biking, it's gonna be rumbling. You wanna have that smooth, clean footage. And this thing actually has flow state stabilization, which is super smooth. And that's everything you want in an action camera. You want it to have good quality. You also want it to have very good stabilization. They've actually improved the microphones on this compared to the previous version. So you're gonna be able to get crisper audio. And you guys can see all this for yourself in the next couple of shots. Now, number 4 is ease of use. With the Insta360 app, it's actually, I'm just gonna show you. So check it out, guys. With the app, you can actually get a live feed of what's going on the camera. You can control everything right from the phone, which is really cool. So right now we got it in auto mode, but if you wanna go take it to manual, you can control the shutter speed, ISO, white balance. So you got access to all of that. So for the folks who want to take a little bit more control rather than just, point and shoot, you can go into the app and do that. And you can of course change the kind of quality that you're getting. So you got 1080p, 2.7K, and of course 4K, and it can record up to 60 frames per second with this new lens. But you can also see down here, there are just a ton of different options to choose from in terms of what this thing can actually record. Surprisingly, it even has a 6K widescreen option. So if you want some 6K footage, you want it to look like a movie, you can go ahead and get that as well. So there are lots of options here, and that's just with this lens. Let me show you guys with the 360. And it's pretty dope that this is so simple to use. You just pop it in, and you pop it in on top of this, and boom, you're done. So back in the day when I used to hear about 360 footage, I couldn't even fathom it. I was like, oh man, I can't imagine throwing that thing into a timeline and trying to adjust it and edit it. It just sounds like a mess. But when you go into the app, it's actually really simple. You can see it in my hand right here. So we've got the mounting case. I'm gonna just pop it in here because you get the best view once it's inside of here with the selfie stick. All right, so we threw on the mounting bracket that it comes with, as well as added on the selfie stick. So we got the Insta360 selfie stick, the mounting bracket, and when it's like this, check it out, you can see it for yourself. Can we make this stand? Here's what we'll do. The couch will hold it for us. Yeah, all right. So check it out, you guys, within the app. Now remember, I thought it was going to be really difficult to edit this kind of footage, but look at that. You can't even see it. It's there though. While it's recording, you can, it's going to capture all of this, but when you're editing, you can move things around, you can track certain subjects. So this thing will capture exactly what you want within a space. Definitely something you're gonna wanna look into, especially considering how easy it is to go ahead and edit it within their app. It makes it super, super simple. It's dope. Yeah, you don't have to point it at anything. You just kind of have it around and then you point later. Yeah, look, we're here. We just zoom in, bam, there we go. So the app is actually really useful. Editing on the app is very simple and allows you to change different things, add effects. There's all kinds of different things that you can do.
And I've even got a little bonus for you. We also have the Shot Lab. That is going to be an awesome feature for the average person who's not great at video effects. This is going to be a nice, easy way to get some really cool shots without any of the know-how, this is a really nice addition to anyone who picks up the camera.
So definitely a really solid app, which gives you a lot of functionality with the system. But something else that I think is a big major point for picking this up is just overall accessories and being able to add to the system. The fact that it's modular, that's huge. So of course we already talked about being able to swap out different lenses. Like I said, you can get that premium one, but there's also other accessories that make owning this just an overall easy experience. So they've got this quick reader over here. So you can throw a micro SD card inside of here. And when you're recording, you can actually pop open the battery cover. You can throw this in and you can record onto the micro SD card in here. So you can kind of think of it like external storage. So that's something I've never seen before on an action camera. But what makes it really cool is not only do you get this external storage, but once you pop this off, you can take it and even plug it into something like your iPhone. So you get really quick access to the files that you just recorded. And with this new RS, they've got improved Wi-Fi connection. So Wi-Fi transfers are like about 50% faster than the previous version, which is huge. But if you don't want to go the route of transferring over Wi-Fi, you can get it directly right off of the micro SD card here, send it over to your phone. It makes life really, really simple. So you can show folks on Instagram what you just did. Boom, you knock that out in 2 seconds, send it over, and you're ready to post your content. Now, another cool accessory absolutely has to be the selfie stick. Listen, it goes invisible when you're using the 360 mode, and it's just like you've got a flying camera next to you. That's what it feels like. It's wizardry, honestly. It's just wizardry. It's insane, but I absolutely love it. And if you own the One R and you want to get like the new lens, this guy right here, you can actually go ahead and use this with your One R system. It's just modular in that sense where you can add things to it as you see fit. The fact that it's modular just means you can continue to add and improve the camera over time by adding accessories, lenses, all those different things. It's really awesome stuff. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick look into the new Insta360 One RS, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite gadgets of 2022 so far. Really liking this thing. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll of course have links down below in the description so you can check out everything that we talked about. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. Now I gotta go on another trip. Just so I can use this guy.
Take me with you.
No.